Hey everyone, my name is Yuka Beth. This is God is Everything podcast. We are back or better. We've been away. It's been a couple weeks. And I just turned 27. I just turned 27. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. There's so much growth that has taken place. And so this video, we're just going to talk about the things that I've learned this year. I literally wrote them down. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 things we're just going to brief through that I've learned, not necessarily just this year, but like things I've learned along the way. So if you are interested in this video, tune in and let's go. All right, so the first thing I wrote was self-love starts with God's love. And by the way, they're doing construction outside my place. So if you hear any noise, just know that's what it is. But hopefully this will come through. This mic will block the noise. Anyways, so the first thing I've learned this year is you cannot properly love yourself if you do not love God, if you do not have God's love. Because the things that I was going for in the name of self-love wasn't good enough. The relationships I was settling for in the name of what I want, what I need, wasn't good enough. And I think it's when you see things and like situations through the lens of God, you actually see that you're settling for crumb. And so whenever you're operating in His will, whenever you're operating through His love for you and me, you're always going to ask for more. You're always going to ask for better because that's what He would ask for you. And so a part of that, it's not self-love. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the wait and the wait. Ooh, when Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane, He's basically about to be sacrificed for the sin of the world. That's something He has never done. And so when the Bible talks about how He was literally sweating blood, it gets that heavy. As we are progressing through life, as you are maturing, as God is calling you to greater heights, it's gonna feel like that sometimes. And sometimes you feel like you're alone. People don't understand what you're doing. You don't even understand what you're doing. Like some part of this year, I just felt like I was in this like this fever dream, and it's like it was just so hard to really like illustrate and explain to people what I was going through. But now I'm realizing that God just put some weight on my shoulders because of what He was preparing me for, what He was transitioning me for. And the second type of way is waiting, being patient. I think that was the hardest part because it's like I've always been used to just doing things like timely. Like you go to high school, you graduate, you do this, but everything's supposed to happen. But when things don't go according to the timeline, and they've always went according to the timeline, it's like you have this big, like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had this tantrum. I was like, God, this is not supposed to happen. La, 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 la. And God was like, you're acting like this because everything you've always wanted came when you wanted it. But now, and you know what I've noticed too, I feel like patience, maybe there's 2 types of patience, but I feel like real genuine patience is when you are waiting, but you don't know how long you're gonna wait. Like if you're in the grocery line and you see like 3 people in front of you, like you can wait because you're like, okay, it's just 3 people. But what if you didn't know how many people were in front of you? What if you didn't know when the wilderness was gonna end? How long will you wait then? And I think that's true patience. The third thing is dead relationships. This year, I lost friends. I lost relationships. And some relationships, I redefined them. One thing I learned, it's okay. Let it go. I'm telling you, the moment you lose one relationship, you're gonna gain another one. That's life. That's the circle of life. And it's okay to redefine the relationships you already have. Like there's some relationships I had to have boundaries. The relationships I had to say no. Because every time I say yes, I was being disrespected. It does not mean I hate you. No, when you make boundaries, it doesn't mean you are a horrible person. No, it just means you actually take care of what you love, and you love you, and you love what you have going on. So you have to put boundaries. And so it's okay to redefine relationships, and it's okay to let relationships go. The other thing is opening my heart to life. I feel like I'm a type of person, and I know a lot of us are, we're very list people. Like, okay, if all my ducks are in a row, then I can live. Then I can experience life. But honestly, you have to learn to live life even when everything's not accordingly. I remember Michelle, she said that you can't get everything at once. You can't get everything you want at once. And sometimes you just have to learn to live, to breathe, to appreciate, to celebrate, even when you have not accomplished everything. I think that's the real flex. The Bible also talks about in Classics how a stillborn baby is better than somebody who doesn't know how to celebrate their prosperity. Like, life is work, yes, but life is also enjoying, and life is also being able to celebrate, to embrace what you have. And one of my plans after post grad was to leave Minnesota. That was always like, and I always mention this, but when I realized it didn't happen right away, at first I was kind of like, God, like, I don't want to be here. I'm not doing anything. And God is like, you could look around. What do you have though? I was like, okay, that's true. I do live super near to my parents. I do have access to my family. And I noticed that when I used to be out of state, that's one thing I always miss. I'm like, dang, I wish I could just go home like right now. And God is like, this is something you're experiencing now, but it's not always going to be like this. Savor it. And I think sometimes when we are looking forward to what's ahead, we miss the things that we need to savor. Because a lot of times when you go from stage A to stage B, some things at stage A don't come with you. And then what was the other one? Oh, and the other one was, your life, all the plans that you have, all the things God has revealed to you, it does not have to happen right now. Everything does not have to happen right now. And I feel like we've been sold this idea that, okay, once you finish school, once you finish this, then everything will fall into place. You fall in love, you get that big house, blah, 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 like in 2 months. That could happen in a course of 10 years. That could happen in a course of 20 years. Let it happen, let it flow. You don't have to rush, because I feel like when you want things to happen right now, you rush it. You're forcing things. And it does not mean it's not going to happen. Just because it's not happening now, it does not mean you will not receive that. That will not happen to you. But you have to understand that. Give room for flexibility. I was making a vision board this year, and I realized I didn't even have room. I didn't leave room for flexibility. It was all packed and tight. Like, it had to happen according to when I wanted it to happen, which honestly leads me to my second last point, which is being okay with not being in control. If there's one thing I learned this year is I'm not that, like, I'm in control of like my emotions, but with a lot of things happening around me, I have no control. The last point I would say is just seeking God. Like, I feel like I talk to God like 10 times a day. Like, I have to seek God. You have to seek God. Like, to make sense of what's happening, sometimes you can't. There are times I'll be talking to God and I'm like, God, like, this doesn't make sense. And God is like, it's not for you to understand. Like, my ways, that's one thing I kept hearing from God this year. My way is higher than yours. My way is higher than yours. And I'm just like, God, but like, help me understand. And I feel like when you try to understand an infinite God, a God that has been here before you will be exhausted. You'll be worn out. One thing I would say, the good side of this year too, though, is I gained more confidence. I feel like I'm at the point in my life where I really don't care if people see me vulnerable. I really don't care if people see me like fall, because at the end of the day, it's like, I know who I am, I know where I'm going. And so I don't even put thought into that anymore. I was able to be honest with the people around me, be honest with my parents. I feel like that's one thing too, like, when you're raised in an African household, it's like, oh, respect your parents. You don't tell them the truth. But like, the confidence that God has given me, there are times I sit my parents down, I'm like, hey, like, when you did this, this is wrong. And they actually take it in. Like, I'm like, okay, what else could I do with this confidence? A lot. the audacity. I have more audacity now. But even to put myself out there, like I'm not afraid to be seen trying. I'm not afraid to show people that yeah, I actually want this to work. Like effort is beautiful. Somebody said effort is sexy. Like trying, that's beautiful. And we're not too cool to try. People who try, people who put themselves out there, they get a lot out of life. Another thing I would say is peace. Although this year was a lot of roller coasters, I had so much peace. When you are in alignment to what God has called you to do, when you're doing something that He has put in your heart, even though it's scary, even though it's challenging, because it's yours, because it's in alignment to who you are, you always feel like peace. Yes, it may not make sense to people around, but you're good. And so I experienced a lot of peace. I'm trying to think of a lot of other things, and just favor. Like this year, I experienced a lot of favor, because favor is not. And we talked about this in one of the episodes. Favor is not like all the good things happening to you at once. No. Favor is when you go through a situation, when you go through a season, but you don't even look like it. You don't even smell like it. And I just experienced so much favor in so many ways through different people. And it's been a great year. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like God has walked with me. He has. Even there are times where I would like get rejected from maybe different organizations or maybe different opportunities, and I would be so mad, but then I'll also feel God's mercy in the rejection, because it's like you know what you're supposed to do, and sometimes we go outside of God's will to do what we want, and He could strike us down. He could kill us. He could literally be like, you know what, I'm gonna ruin your life, but He doesn't. And in His infinite mercy, He just gives us a rejection email, because that path could have taken you a whole different route. That relationship could have destroyed you, but he just allows your heart to be broken, and that's mercy. That's one thing I learned about God. That's faithfulness. I wish I could sit here and be like, I've been perfect the whole year. I had made no mistake, but I'll be lying. I know I made several mistakes, but God still kept me. God is still using me. And it's so crazy because I took time to fast, and I was just in the Word. I was just talking to God. I was talking to Him. And when I finished the fast, like I went out, like just random errands, and I noticed everywhere I went, people would be like, "You're so calm. Wow, you have this very calm spirit. Wow, you." And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, that's different. I've never heard that." But that's the result of being in the presence of God. Like before they see you, they see God. Before they smell you, they smell God. And I pray that this year, God's aroma continues to just radiate over me. Like when people experience me, when people get to meet me, they also get a piece of God, right? And I don't know who needs to hear this. You may be going through a very difficult time and you feel like giving up. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. Don't do it, because that's the only thing you can do that can sabotage you. Like everything else is actually working for you. You may not see it. The devil doesn't want you to see it. But the only thing you could possibly do right now that can ruin everything that God has going for you is giving up. And whenever I feel discouraged, whenever I'm in a place where I'm just like, I always think of other people who have gone through difficult seasons. I always think of David and that season where he was running away from Saul for like 7 to 13 years. And you ask yourself, what thoughts were running in his mind? What doubts was he going through? And if he went through these doubts and he overcame, I can overcome this too. Like, what techniques and weapons did the devil use on him? Because most likely he's using the same on you. And so keep going, keep showing up. Do not. Sometimes you might have to stop. True. Sometimes you might have to cry. You might have to punch the air. Do what you gotta do, but keep going. Keep showing up. God has given you a vision. You know what that vision is. You know who you are. You know what you're meant to do. Just keep going at it. And for those that are experiencing a beautiful season in their life, they have waited, they have prayed for this. I praise God for that, because I know they waited. No, they pleaded with God. And so when God is blessing them, it's beautiful. And so if that's you and you're going through that season, continue praising God, continue rejoicing, share your testimony. Tell people how you were before and how it turned out for you. Tell people how God came through. Share your testimony because it encourages people. It motivates people. There are people who are waiting for your testimony before they start. They just haven't heard it. So share. And I think that's it.